Echo is finally here and nobody cares. The MCU series nobody asked for, and even Disney was ashamed to release it. They pushed it so many times, and from 8 episodes they went down to 6 and then to 5. Why? Because nobody liked this show even at Marvel Studios. So it was reshot to oblivion because it was such a mess. And finally we received that Frankenstein's monster of a show, and it's a perfect example that presents what happens when you are so obsessed with a cultural background and ethnicity of the main protagonist that you forget to shape the main hero and sacrifice the entire runtime to push the representation. This show starts with a Choctaw legend or a history instead of Echo. The entire show of Echo doesn't even have a plot. It feels like people at Marvel Studios wanted to just push something out to Disney Plus to keep subscribers and waited for the right time when they will have actual drought of content. So it turned out to be 2024. They actually have not much things to release at this point, so they pushed it. They released all the episodes at one time so you can binge this piece of garbage, and the entire story of Echo can be summed up like this. There is an Echo deaf chick with a prosthetic leg. After her father's death, she was taken care of by Kingpin. Kingpin was the one who killed her dad. Now she's angry after the events of Hawkeye, and she wants to get Kingpin's empire, and she tries to accomplish that by blowing them up. I seriously don't know how this is supposed to work. Kingpin is, unfortunately for her, alive, so this is a problem, and Kingpin is also a big Maya. Read Echo simp. Echo makes Kingpin cry. The end. This is the entire show. This is the entire plot of the show. The entire show isn't focused at presenting the interesting story of maybe building a character. Echo doesn't even have the agency in her own show. The whole plot revolves around her tribe, which, by the way, was also swapped from Cheyenne to Choctaw. Because if we know anything about Hollywood people, they don't really care about the representation and the cultures. For them, everyone is the same as long as the skin color checks out. Most of the runtime of Echo's 5 episodes is sacrificed to present the culture of Choctaw instead of the actual plot. This is also extremely racist, and the creators don't see it because at this point you're presenting that everyone in this culture is as one, and doesn't matter that Maya is her own person, she is ultimately reduced to her culture and her heritage. The whole trailer for this shit show was teasing that this is going to be finally R-rated TV show for Marvel outside of the Netflix ones. Full of action, and by the looks of it, it looked like it's going to take place in New York. So think twice. Already in the first episode we fuck off from New York to Oklahoma. In the first episode we get snippets of the story of Echo, Maya as a kid, and we get to us presented how she lost her leg, where it's actually hilarious. Echo and her mom drive for cookies. Someone cut the brakes, there's a crash, mom died, but Echo survived. Somehow, in deranged minds of writers, windshield broke in a way that a big chunk of glass cut into Echo's leg, and that's why she lost it. This automatically sets the level of stupidity of this show on the high level. Writers are so incompetent that trying to be smart and trying to be really creative about how Echo could lose her leg showed us that they didn't even care enough to check one crash test on YouTube to see how windshield breaks during the crash. There is no fucking way in the universe that this would happen. Of course, Grandma blames her dad for her daughter's death and tells him and Maya, Echo, to fuck off. Grandma of the year. Dude lost his wife, kid lost her mom, and she's just like, fuck off, I'm hurting, I'm grieving. After this short backstory, because we can't waste much time on it, this is a show about Choctaw, not about Echo. When Grandma hears that Echo is back in town in Oklahoma, she automatically says that Echo will bring trouble. What in the fuck is going on? Grandma seen her last time when she was like 10 years old and sees her for the first time and automatically says that she is going to bring trouble because her dad was trouble. At first I was like, okay, so maybe Echo visited and brought trouble previously between the shows or something. No, the show reveals to us later that in fact it was 20 years since they saw each other. So she saw her last time as she was 10 years old. The whole fucking time the show has nothing to offer. There is nothing of importance happening. Echo tries to take over Fisk's empire by blowing up the armory. Goons want to kill her. Echo is kidnapped by some interesting individuals that tie her to the ceiling by her prosthetic leg. And when she frees herself, kind of, they throw her back into the janitor room. And at this point you think, okay, so they are not going to give her, oh yeah, they gave her back her fake leg so she can easily escape and basically murder everyone on her way out. Of course, to get herself out, she becomes a MacGyver and makes herself improvised weapon from the roller skates. Of course, she beats armed goons by herself, and after all, when they are almost about to shoot her, Kingpin saves her life. Throughout the show, Echo sees some women in visions. Turns out that they are her ancestors, and they are there when she is going to need it. Grandma all of a sudden apologizes, tells her about how she gave birth to her mom, and we sacrifice like a 10-minute or 15 minutes of the show on portraying how Grandma gave Echo's mom birth. So at this point we have more build-up for a character of Grandma, which is not important, instead of for Echo. This is basically told to us that she and her daughter has a special connections. They loved each other more because of the hard birth, that both of them were in danger of dying, the grandma and the mom of Echo. And I'm like, okay, isn't that like you are connected with your child anyway? Like, this show tries to present it like there wouldn't be any fucking connection if not for the fact that they were both in danger. This is the entire scene, and I couldn't just wrap my mind around it, but we wasted like 10 or 15 minutes of presenting this to us. And also, Wilson Fisk is also done dirty this one time again. Why? Because he is a simp. He is simping for Echo so fucking hard, even after she tried to kill him few times. When there is no way to get her back on his side, to bring her back with him to New York, he throws temper tantrum like a little kid. There is a few moments when Echo just casually lets Fisk be alive because the show knows that they can't really kill someone like Wilson Fisk in such of a drag of a show, and the show drags on and on to the point when I was actually happy when I saw that the last episode is only 30 minutes long. And that would tell you something, because the events of the last episode just happen. There is all of a sudden powwow happening in the town, and Wilson Fisk decides, hear me up, to blow up the Choctaw people during the event with a rocket launcher. Because Maya didn't want to go with him to New York. He gets people ready, one of them with a fucking rocket launcher, the other people in the truck, hidden in the van, and Fisk at the same time kidnapped Grandma and cousin of Echo, threatens to kill them. At the same time, the uncle shoots the dude with a rocket launcher to save the Choctaw people, and her cousin, not this one, the male one, gets a monster truck and basically runs over the vans, screaming like a fucking lunatic. But at least he's funny though. All of a sudden Echo is like getting these visions. All the female female ancestor. They give her power, and Grandma and her cousin also get ancestral power. So they all annihilate the goons. Maya puts fingers on Wilson Fisk's forehead or eye or whatever, makes him cry in his memories before he killed his own dad. Fisk fucks off, and literally this is the end of the show. There are huge chunks of the connective tissue missing here. Everything seems rushed as fuck just to get the show out as quick as possible and be over with it. The entire show is a mess, but when it comes to this last episode, this isn't even an ending. After Fisk escapes, there seems like there should be one or maybe two more episodes. Why did she let Fisk go again? Why did she let him live again? We don't get the answer for that. What the hell was she doing in his memories? How was she doing in his memories? Before that, we get the information that her mom was a healer, basically. This is interesting because the show literally presents to us the same sign that mother of Echo used to heal the bird in her memory, but at this point Maya uses the same sign. It's a basically Choctaw magic, and she gets inside Wilson Fisk's head, makes him cry, and this is the end of the show. At this point, I think this is Maya healing Fisk's pain, and oh, such a good girl. She's not evil, she didn't kill him, she healed him. I can't stress that enough in how of a big disbelief I am that you would end the show like this. There is no an actual ending. And after Fisk fucked off, we get this quick sum up where Echo drives to Grandma's garden, everyone is happy, women love themselves, and credits roll. Mid-credits scene, we get Wilson Fisk, who thinks about running for an office. And that's it. So basically they are teasing what is going to be happening in Daredevil, but they will, believe me, repeat everything probably in Daredevil too. I wanted to talk more about this show, to give it the same treatment that I gave Secret Invasion and Rebel Moon. The problem is that there is nothing to talk about. The amount of content in this content for Disney Plus is actually less than Secret Invasion and Rebel Moon had previously. The funniest thing is that The Echo isn't even Marvel's worst show. Secret Invasion and She-Hulk are way worse, but here there is nothing happening. The writing is bad, but not on the same level as Secret Invasion. The main character is almost non-existent. That's still better than butchering Nick Fury. It's not entirely shot in the volume because there are actually some locations, but there is no reason to watch it. There is nothing you need to see here, and take under consideration that it all fails to build Echo as a character. Even if she is going to appear in the future MCU shows, MCU projects, you lose nothing by just skipping the show in its entirety. All you have to know that she got her leg chopped off by a windshield. The highlight of the show is cousin of Echo, not her, the dude one. He is done as a goof and mama's boy, but he is at least funny. So as long as he's present in these first two episodes on the show, you will get a bit of an entertainment. There is also a Daredevil in the first episode. For a few minutes, there is a fight between him and Echo, and after a short while, he just fucks off. Why? He didn't get beaten, he didn't body Echo, he just vanished like a fucking Houdini. He just left a criminal on her own. It would have probably been better if she just bodied him at this point, because at this point he is shown as someone very incompetent if it comes to dealing justice. But we know why they can't do anything here with the Daredevil, because they understood that they can't afford to harm this one and only character's reputation, because if not Daredevil, who will save the dying streaming service that Disney Plus is at the moment? This was a chore to get through, and it was a chore to review or break down, because you can't really break down and review nothing.